Good day, viewers. Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time on this channel, please do well to like, share, and subscribe. Today, I'll be showing you how I draft my bodice block. So let's get started. So to draft this basic bodice block, I will need basically these three measurements: the back length measurement, the bust, and the waist. Please, if you don't know how to take the back length measurement, please do well to check one of my videos on how to take body measurement. You will find out how to take the back length measurement over there. So what I'm going to do now is just to divide my bust measurement into different sections, and I'm going to be showing you how I'll do that. First of all, I'll divide my bust measurement into two, and that'll be giving me the scale. So this scale here is simply bust divided by 2, bust divided by 2, and then I'm going to be having my scale divided by 2 as well, this scale divided by 2, this same scale divided by 3, my scale divided by 4, my scale also divided by 6, my scale 2 divided by 12, and finally 2 over 3 of the scale. So these are basically what I'll be using to draft the front and back bodice block. I'll be using this to draft the front and back bodice block. So this is what I have. Let me go through it for you again. The scale measurement here is just the bust divided by 2. That is 39 divided by 2, which has given me 19.5. So your scale should be your bust measurement divided by 2. Then this scale now, I'm going to divide this scale by 2. So 19.5 divided by 2 has given me 9.75. So this same 19.5 divided by 3 has given me 6.5. This same 19.5 divided by 4 has given me 4.8. Actually, it's 4.875, but I've just shortened it to 4.8. This same scale measurement divided by 1 over 6 divided by 6, that's giving me 3.25. The same scale measurement divided by 12 has given me 1.6. And finally, this scale measurement divided by 3 times 2. So this scale measurement divided by 3 is 6.5. 6.5 times 2 is 13. So that's just basically it. So let's get started, and let me show you how I make use of these figures to draft my basic bodice block. So this is my brown paper that I'll be working with. First of all, I'll mark out about 1 inch from this end and or 1.5 from this end and this end, because I won't like my bodice block to start exactly from the tip of the brown paper. So I'll go ahead and make a working area from there, a space like 1.5 inch away from the edge of the brown paper. I'm going to rule that. So okay, so after doing that, we are now going to measure out a square that will contain the back and the front body block. So this point here is going to be my point A, and I'm going to measure from point A down to point B with my back length, that is 16 inches. So from point A, 16 inches, and that will be giving me my point B. point B. Yeah, because I'll be squaring this line down, I'll go ahead and measure from here to point 16. And I'll do same here, 16. So you square that out. You square that out. Yeah. So we have A, B. We're now going to measure for C. So measuring for C, we are going to be using our scale measurement 19.5. Our scale measurement, that is 19.5. We'll place that on point B, 19.5, like this. Marking this here. And we'll be adding 3.6 centimeters from east. Yeah. I'll go ahead and repeat the same process at the other end, 19.5 and 3.6 cm. Then I'll go ahead to join these two lines together. So this will be giving me C and D. So this is the starting point. Please let's patiently follow this tutorial so that I won't get confused. This is where our back and front bodice block will be drafted. So don't forget, A to B is the back length measurement 16 inches. D to C, back length measurement 16 inches. Then from B to C and from A to D, we have our scale measurement 19.5. Remember, the scale measurement is bust divided by 2. So we have our scale measurement plus 3.6 centimeters. Now let's continue. From point A, we'll be measuring out 9 centimeters. 9 centimeters. 9 cm plus 1 over 4 of our scale measurement. 1 over 4 of our scale measurement. This is 1 over 4 of my scale measurement. I just hope you can see that. This is 1 over 4 of my scale measurement, which is 4.8. So we'll be adding 4.8 to the 9 cm. So from here, I'll be marking out my 4.8. I'll repeat the same process over here. 4.8. And here. So I'll square that out as well, joining them together. So we'll be naming this line point E and point F. Point E and point F. Okay. Now we are going to stand on point E. We are going to stand on point E. And we are going to be marking out 1 over 3 of the scale measurement. 1 over 3 of the scale measurement. This 1 over 3 of my scale. I am having 6.5. 1 over 3 of the scale measurement. So from point E, we're marking out 6.5. And we'll be adding 3.2 cm is. And we'll be naming that point G1. Point G1. I'll go ahead and repeat the same thing from point A, 6.5, plus 3.2 cm, and I'll be naming that G2. So we'll quickly join those 2 points together. Like this. Now, we'll start on point E again, and we're going to be marking out 2/3 of our scale, 2/3 of our scale measurement. 2/3 of our scale measurement. Remember, this 2/3 is the scale divided by 3 times 2, which is 13 inches. So, we're marking out from point E 2/3 of our scale measurement, but we're going to deduct 0.5 inches. So 13 minus 0.5 gives us 12.5. And we'll be naming that H1. And I'll go ahead and repeat the same process here. And I'll be naming that H2. So we'll join these 2 points together as well. Like this. Now, this is where our armhole will be. The back armhole and the front armhole will be here. So for ease, under the armhole, we are going to come down from G1 by 1.5 inch, come down from H1 1.5 inch, and we are going to join those 2 points together. So we are going to label that I1 and I2. You get that? So now we are going to measure from point H1 to point F. Point H1 to point F. We're going to take that measurement and we're going to divide that line into 2. You're going to divide that line into 2. Into 2. And we're going to name that J1. We're going to repeat the same thing over here. We're going to repeat the same thing here. We're going to label that J2. J2. So we are going to join that point, these 2 points. We are going to square it up and down. So we are going to join it upward and downward like this. And this is where our front dart is going to be, our waist dart for the front and shoulder dart also at the front. Now, don't forget these points J1 and J2. Now we are going to go ahead and measure line J1 and H1 from here to here, and we are going to equally divide that into 2 again, like this. We're going to name that K1. And we're going to repeat the same process here. Divide it into 2. And we're going to be naming that K2. K2. So we'll be joining K1 and K2 together like this. I hope you are understanding the process. So right now We are going to be measuring out the necklines now. So for the back, we'll be taking 1/6 of our scale measurement. 1/6 our scale measurement. I am having 3.25. So we're marking out 3.25 here. And this will be my L1. And from point L1, I'll mark it upward 0.5. And that'll be my L2. So you can use your French curve to blend the L1 into line A, and it will be giving you your back neck line like this. Yeah. So we're doing same for the front. From point D, we're marking out 3.2 inches, and we're marking 3.2 downward as well. So this is going to be our M1, and this is going to be our M2. So from M2, we're going to mark out 0.5 upward. I'm going to name that M3. So using your neckline curve, join point M1 and point M3 with your curve to have your front neckline like this. So we've gotten our front and back neckline. Now, please pay attention to this part. Don't forget that our back length measurement is 16 inches. 16 inches, our back length measurement. So I'll be placing the 16 inches at point B. Point B. And I will tilt the tape from that point B until it touches line G1 and line G2, like this. Let me repeat that process again. Our back length measurement is 16, so you place the 16 at point B and you tilt your tape until it touches line G1 and G2. So you mark at that point, and you're going to name it N1. So we are going to be joining point N1 to M3 like this. You see that? And from N1, we are going to be coming down by 3.6 cm. 3.6 cm. I'm going to be naming that N2. Point N2. Now, on point N1, we are going to be marking out 0.5 inches on that line, and we are going to name that N3. N3. So you go ahead and join line L2 to N3 like this. This is our back shoulder. Back shoulder. Now we'll go ahead and we'll be joining N2 to point K2. Where this line N1 crosses line K2 to K1, please take a very good look at this again. This is line K1 and K2, and this is line N1 and M3. Where these two lines meet, where line N1 meets line K2 and K1, that is where you're going to be joining the N2 to. like this. You can take some time to digest that. Let me go over this particular process again. Remember, we have line K1 and K2 over here, and then we joined line N1 to M3. So where line M1, M3 crosses line K1, K2 at this very point, that is where we'll be connecting our line N2 to. You get that? Yeah. Now let's proceed. So we are going to be working out our dart, front dart now. So from J1, we'll be descending by 1.5 inch to get our dart point for the front. And that will give us point O, point O. So let's take the measurement from J2 to point O. And that will be giving me 10.25. Sorry? Yeah, that will be giving me 10.1. 10.1. 10.1. So let's write that 10.1 somewhere. 10.1. So from M3 to this point, from M3 to this point, where N2 is meeting, let's name that P, point P. Let's just name it point P to avoid confusion. So from M3 to point P, we're going to take that measurement. That is 3.25. 3.25. According to my drafting, yours might be different depending on the measurements you are using, depending on the body size. So, but the most important thing is measure M3 to point P. Whatever you have there, you are going to duplicate that measurement by placing it on J2. J2. You place your tape measure on J2. You mark out the same 3.25. I'm going to be naming that P2. Let me go over it again. You start on M3 and measure from point M3 to point P. Whatever measurements you have there, you try to duplicate it again. You start on J2 and measure on that line, that first line, N1. You place your 3.25 and you now name it point P. So we are going to be joining point P2 to point O, like this. So now remember that we measured J2 to point O and we had 10.1. So we are going to be placing that 10.1 on this new line now. On point P2, we are going to mark out 10.1, and which is here, 10.1. So we are now going to measure this, what we have here as our back shoulder. We're going to measure what we have there. I am having 5.6. Yours might be different. I am having 5.6 here. So line L2 to N3. 5.6. Now I'm going to place that measurement on point P. Start on point P, line P and N2. You now measure that 5.6 there. So that will be our line point Q. So on that point Q, you are going to move inward 0.8 cm and name that Q2. So we'll just join that Q2 to P2. Like this. So that will give us our shoulder dart. This is now our shoulder dart. Our shoulder dart. So we'll move ahead to create our back armhole. Now, from this point above N1, we're going to measure that to I1 and we'll divide that into 2. We'll divide that into 2. And we will move in 0.6 cm, 0.6 cm. And that will be our point R. Now, this line I1 and I2, we are going to be dividing it into 2 as well to get the middle of our armhole. So, we'll be joining that point here to point R and down to and up to point N. So, these 3 points should meet like this. And basically, that is your back armhole. So let's proceed to get the front armhole now. We are going to be using our 1/12 measurement, 1/12 scale measurement. I'm having 1.6. So we are going to be marking that from point J2 upward, 1.6. And I'll add 0.5 inch to it. So this will be our R2. So we'll be joining these 2 points. Like this. Then line Q2 and R2 will be dividing it into 2. I am having 6 inches here. Divided by 2 is 3. And I'll move out by 1 cm. 1 cm. And that will give me my R3. So I'll be using my curve to join this middle point to point R2 like this. And I'll be joining R2 in a smooth curve through R3 to Q2 like this. And this is basically our front armhole. You can breathe in, breathe in, breathe in. If you're trying to be confused or you're trying to get confused, just relax, relax. It's very easy as ABC. Just relax. So let's mark out for our back dart now. So from point E to point G1, we are going to take that measurement and divide it into 2. Like this. And I'm going to be placing the same measurements down here. Like this. And this is basically what we have. This center point here, we'll just go ahead and square it down. Just go ahead and square it down with a straight line. Like this. Yeah, we are gradually getting to the end of this. So we are going to be marking out our darts now. The back dart will be here, and the waist dart for the front too will be here. And this is going to be the side of the front and back, which will have a little dart here for demarcation. So we will go ahead and measure line B and line C, line point B to point C. That's line BC. We are going to measure that. I am having 20.8. So I'm writing that here, 20.8. So now we are going to take our waist measurement. My waist measurement here is 37. 37. So 37 divided by 2 is 18.5. 18.5. So the 20.8 that we got from line BC minus 18.5, and that will be giving us 2.3. So that 2.3 now, remember that your line BC, whatever measurement you have there, you're going to subtract your waist measurement divided by 2 from it. Whatever you have there, whether it's going to be 5, whether it's going to be 6, whether it's going to be 3, whatever you have as your answer, you divide it again into 3. In my own case, I'm having 2.3, and I'm going to divide that 2.3 into 3. That will give me 0.75. 0.75. Depending on the body measurement you are going to use, you might be getting something like 3, which will give you 3 divided by 3 will be 1. You might be getting something like 5, 5 divided by 3, and so on. You might get something like 6, 6 divided by 3 will give you like 2. So, but for me, I'm having 2.3. 2.3 divided by 3 is giving me 0.75. That simply means each dot will be 0.75, 0.75. So we are going to marking that out. This is the center, 0.75. Sorry, sorry. 0. This is 0.75 rather. So it should be like this. Yeah, this is 0.75. So repeat the same thing here. So when you measure this is 0.75. So repeat the same thing here too. And we are going to join that this way. Yeah. And we are done with drafting the basic bodice block. So I'll go ahead and show you how to cut this out. So this is my paper cutting scissors. I don't use the same scissors for cutting paper to cut material, or the scissors I use to cut material to cut paper. So this scissors is specifically for cutting paper. So hope you can see how beautiful it is. This is our front and back bodice block. You can go ahead and write back and front. So for me, I won't be cutting out this space here. I'll rather fold it in because sometimes I use it for my zip extension. So instead of cutting it out, I fold it in. In case you're going to be drafting a bodice or a dress that will not have any opening at the back, you just go ahead and fold it, and this will be your center back. But if your design is going to have zip at the back or any opening at the back, then you can then release it and use it as your zip extension. Zip extension. Yeah. So let's go ahead and cut out, separate the front and the back now. This is what we have for our back bodies. You can see this is very neat and accurate. Yeah. So I'll be showing you a little trick on how to handle this shoulder dart. So on this straight line from 0 to from point O to J2, we are going to fold that part gently, just like this. I'm going to fold on that line straight down to the dart point, point O. I hope you can. From this point O to J2, you fold it like this. Now we'll be closing that dart. We'll be closing the dart like this. Now, you can see that these two lines are now meeting. M3 and P2 are now meeting. So that is where we're going to, this is our front shoulder now. You can take a good look at this now. Our front shoulder. So we're going to cut out this place. And this is what we have. So you can see this is our shoulder dart. Yeah, this is basically it. We are done. This is our front and our back. You can use this to adapt any style that you like, any style of your choice. you can use it to adapt it. So thanks for watching this video. Thanks for watching this tutorial. Please, if you have not subscribed yet, please do well to hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so that whenever I upload another tutorial, you'll be part of the first people that will be getting that. Thank you and see you in my next video. Bye.